lights and cameras and mirrors.
Hello, it's me, your boy, Auteur Deluxe, and today we're going to review The Wolf of Snow Hollow. This is the new one from Jim Cummings. He wrote, directed, and stars in it, much like his previous film, Thunder Road, which was one of my favorites of 2018, one of my favorites of the last 10 years. I really enjoyed that movie. It definitely put Jim Cummings on my radar. And this was my probably second most, or at least neck and neck with I'm Thinking of Ending Things, as far as my level of hype and anticipation for these films. And you may be asking yourself, where's your I'm Thinking of Ending Things review? Well, it's on Letterboxd. You can go find it. I'm not going to tell you if I liked it or not. You need to go to my Letterboxd. And I'm not doing a video on that. I'm not doing a 2-month after the fact I'm Thinking of Ending Things video when everybody's seen it, everybody's read it, everybody knows. There's already been the deep dive videos, there's been the opinions from the book nerds, opinions from the movie nerds, the Kaufman nerds. But give me views, give me some views, and maybe I'll do what you want, and maybe I can get a screener and do it beforehand, and it might be interesting. But no one wants my 2-month-old fucking thoughts on that movie, so go ahead, look at my review on Letterboxd, but I'm not doing that. I'm not putting the effort into a movie that dense and sitting here in front of this fucking green screen, hemorrhaging money, don't even have a job. Okay, but The Wolf of Snow Hollow. This movie follows Jim Cummings as the main character. He plays a sheriff in a Utah town of Snow Hollow. Him and his fellow officers are investigating some murders, trying to figure out whether or not it was a serial killer or a werewolf. And this movie straddles a lot of genres. I mean, it's funny, it's a thriller, it's a mystery, it's a horror movie, it's black comedy elements, emotional elements. It keeps all those plates spinning, and they never are really in jeopardy of falling down. And it's rare that movies do that, and it's not sloppy at all. Usually movies can do that, but it's an absolute mess. When movies try to straddle a bunch of different genres for me, especially horror movies, it's usually a whiff. It's usually a swing and a miss, because they're trying to appease those niche fan bases that are so fucking annoying. In that respect, I fear that Snow Hollow might be taken kind of in the same way as It Comes at Night. I think it might be being mismarketed. It might find the wrong audience. It might find horror dorks who are not scared of anything and too cool for school. It might miss with comedy dorks. It might just flounder. It might not really find its audience, which bums me out. But luckily for people like me and hopefully you that just kind of like movies, he's not catering to these fan bases. He's not catering to these niches. And he shines most, I think, in an acting role. I respect and admire the writing. I respect and admire the direction. But I think he really shines as an actor. He's playing this kind of uptight, frustrated, but endearing everyman who is trying to keep his shit together when his world is crumbling around him, and he's always ultimately at least sort of trying to better himself. I identify with that. I think that's a great character arc. I thought it was great casting to have Robert Forster in a posthumous role playing his father, because he is the same thing. He's a sweet guy, but you can see that kind of undercurrent of anger and uptightness, and he plays that very well. It's a very good role. I really like the casting there. And I really appreciated the slight social commentary on cops in this movie. It didn't go whole hog in fuck the cops, ACAB, but it did mention it. The cops are not the most liked group in the world right now, in the United States right now. There's a lot of do your job. There's a lot of this is why they hate us coming from within the police department of this film. And I don't feel like it's really grandstanding. I don't feel like it's really going too far out there to send that message. You go on Twitter and everything's vitriolic hate, and if you don't want to kill all cops, you're a complete bootlicker. I think it's very refreshing to see kind of a middle ground there, where you can be critical of the police without being absolutely polarizing. In conclusion, I think Snow Hollow is many things, but it's never really all over the place. It kind of works on every level that it's trying to do. But Cummings is most powerful, and I like him most as an actor. I think he really it works well as a writer, works well as a director. There are some really good shots. There's a cool shot where they're showing an attack from the adversary in the movie. I don't want to give away spoilers, but they're showing an attack at the same time that he's attacking the coroner, and it kind of works and it juxtaposes really well. but I think he really shines as an actor. I think he kind of has found that role and it works for him. For me, it worked as a thriller, it worked as a mystery, it works as like a Fargo-esque black comedy, it works on emotional levels, and it had a couple twists. And again, if you don't go into this as a like world-weary horror fan, just waiting to see someone's head chopped off every 3 seconds or the scariest thing ever, you'll be fine. You'll probably enjoy this. And I did see one kind of criticism in a couple of the reviews I read. I mean, this movie came out last night. There aren't a whole lot of reviews on Letterboxd, but the one knock I see on it here and there is that it's kind of samey next to Thunder Road. I mean, he's playing an emotionally unstable cop with a divorce and a kid that is living at the mother's house. And I think that's sort of valid, but also, like, who cares? Cummings found a vibe and a lane and a character that he likes doing, and he's done it for 2 films. Hopefully he's early on in his career, and he'll do many other things. But if you're a fan of one, you're a fan of the other. If you're not a fan, you're not a fan of either. So I don't really think that's a knock. I mean, you watch Cassavetes movies, and you have Peter Falk, Cassavetes himself, and Ben Gazzara playing kind of morally bankrupt shitheads. And he's done that plenty of times. You have Bergman has Liv Ullmann playing a subservient wife character over and over again. Is that taking anything away from those films? I think as long as we're not looking back in 2030 and Cummings has done about 10 movies where he's a cop and just wheeling out that old trope like it's Pat on SNL, I think that's fine. Doesn't matter. And even if he does, look at Jacques Tati, look at Mr. Hulot. He came out for, what, 8 movies, and those are considered some of the better movies of all time. Although I think Playtime's great, and the rest are really boring. So I'll give this 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. I have a Facebook page now. Go on there, like me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, TikTok, all at Auteur Deluxe. Thank you, and good night.